Hey there, baseball fans. Nathan Rohde and Shooter Hunt here with the latest episode of Coffee and Curveballs. Shooter, fall is in the air, and of course the best way to kick off the fall season is at the Midwest Fall Championships at Grand Park in Indiana, which is where you were this past weekend.
Finally back at Grand Park. It's action all over. It feels like there's a million fields, stuff going on, every class, 21s, 22s, 23s, 24s, talent everywhere.
Excellent. Well, let's get into talking about some of the talent that was there. Starting off with the champions of the different divisions, there were three. In the 18U division, the Canes Midwest came back from down 6-0 to beat Team Indiana.
Yeah, it was about to be Cupcake City there in that game, and then they come out of nowhere all the way back. Tucker Bivin is a Louisville recruit. I really like him on the bump. Didn't have the greatest outing on the mound, but he was stellar throughout at the plate. Dominic Decker had a really good quality tournament. He was great at the future games where he led Team Indiana in hitting, continues to be outstanding in that 22 class. He really helped that Canes team to the championship. And then Kyler McIntosh, he's an Alabama State recruit, legit two-way talent, but it's a big, powerful bat from the left side, can really rake, but great job by Canes Midwest coming back in an epic final game.
Excellent. In the 17U division, Hitters Baseball Navy defend their title at the Midwest Fall Championships with another win.
Yeah, these guys just don't lose. That Hitters Navy team, they were down a couple of players, but it didn't matter to them. They had Gavin Killen. He was just outstanding. Shortstop up the middle. I really liked him at the Underclass area codes recently. I wrote about him there, but he stands out at the plate. It's simple. He covers the plate. Quiet aggression, really calm, confident kid. Out of shortstop can really pick it, but the left-handed stroke really plays. But he wasn't alone. Mason Buss struck out 10 plus, I think 13 guys for them. And then Sam Meidenbauer, let me pronounce that right. Meidenbauer it was outstanding. 6 for 11. I think he had a 3 or 4 hit game later on in the tournament, but he was huge for the Hitters there. But another victory for them. Hoping to see them at Lake Point for the Underclass Championships in October.
Excellent. And then in the underclass division, the Indiana Bulls Moore took home a victory led by guys like Carter Murphy, who had a huge weekend, it looked like.
Yeah, and Max Clark wasn't even playing with this squad. He was with Team Indiana, where he was stellar. We'll talk about him in the 23 rankings next time. But yeah, Carter Murphy, 7 for 12 in this one. The whole team really raked for them. They just ran through everybody with the bats.
And they did. So, as always, at the Midwest Fall Championships, there's plenty of talent to be seen, especially at the when we're talking about draft prospects. And there were a couple of guys that you locked in on for me as I was elsewhere this past weekend. But a couple of guys that stood out were Jackson Wentworth and Ty Bodicic.
Yeah, Wentworth just hasn't slowed down. He had a great summer. We saw him at area codes, the Midwest Pro Case. He was at a Pro Case recently at Iowa Western. He just has not stopped. 88 to 92. It's an athletic delivery, a high three-quarter slot. Really jumps out of hands. High spin fastball. He tunnels it well with a big downer 12-6 breaking ball. I mean, he struck out 14 guys in 6 innings. It was electric. It was in the big time slot. He had lots of eyes there. 20-plus MLB scouts in attendance. He just did what he had to do, and he's going to continue having a great fall and hopefully ride it into the spring.
And then Ty Bodicic also standing out.
Yeah, think about the future games last year where he was uncommitted, left-handed hitter, was outstanding, had all the college scouts buzzing. Well, now the pro guys are starting to follow him. He hit 2 home runs in one game as I was watching. Left-handed hitting catchers always plays, doing a solid job behind the plate. The arm carries, but really the bat's going to be his carrying tool.
Certainly is. So moving on down, let's look at some guys in underclass that were some eye-openers, namely Julius Sanchez out of Illinois, who's up to 94, and Ashton Izzy, a right-hander.
Yeah, you talk about Julius Sanchez hops on the mound. I'm with Drew Locascio, our Illinois state director, and Sanchez comes on the mound up to 94. He's just a 2022. He's made those steady velocity jumps. Rody, it's very similar to Ben Hernandez. Just the way he holds his hands, goes through a simple delivery. It's effortless, jumps out of the hand. 77 to 80 with the slider. Huge upside. He's actually a little bit bigger than Ben Hernandez, but that effortless velo is very similar to what we saw from that. I think he's a supplemental pick, right? Hernandez.
Yep.
But then Ashton Izzy, David Seifert, our draft guru, college guy, in attendance to watch Izzy. Love the athleticism. He was blowing up my phone watching him, saying just how athletic it was. Sinker slider guy up to 88, but there's plenty more in the tank. Wichita State recruit, huge upside.
And then finally, we have an Illinois recruit in the 22 class, Jimmy Rolder, who sounds like he raked on the weekend as well.
Yeah, another guy. He was with the Kansas City Sparks. He got a hit every time I watch him. He's a heavy barrel. He's 6'3", 215 pounds. Can play some shortstop. He's probably more of a third baseman. Still a 6'9" runner for that physical size. I like him to continue rising, looking towards the future. But that Illinois recruiting class really coming together nicely with this underclass guys.
It certainly is. So finally, to wrap us up here, let's take a look at some guys that were uncommitted at the event. Who stood out for you?
Oh, you don't want to go with that name. Cade Pelican, North Stars, Minnesota 2021 center fielder. Real eye-opening. Not the biggest frame, but he's got that gritty toughness at the plate. Quick hands, the bat speed plays. I think whatever school he ends up with is going to have a real pesky leadoff hitter for 4 years doing damage. He can track it in center field. Actually track down a Max Clark 370-plus foot shot to center field. Looked easy doing it. TJ Schlageter, 2023 left-handed pitcher, was up to 84, rotates real pitchability, some polished 3-pitch mix lefty. I mean, they don't just grow on trees. So
No.
He's a guy that I'm sure some college coaches are going to be going to check out. And then another North Star kid from Minnesota, right-hander, Tyler Phelps Hemick. Just super athletic, dynamic delivery, really gets down the mound, quick arm, jumps out front. I think he's got a huge upside, and the velo is going to continue to climb.
Excellent. Well, there you have it. A look at a few standouts from the Midwest Fall Championships, as well as the champions. Be sure to stay tuned, as we'll have a podcast going into a little bit more depth about the players that were there, and I'm sure we will have plenty of content on prepbaseballreport.com to follow up the event. But as always, for Shooter Hunt, I'm Nathan Rohde. This was Coffee and Curveballs, and until next time, we'll see you guys at the ballpark.